Hi friends, Miss MIA here. It's been about 2.5 weeks since my last confession, and I've definitely sinned, so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've been so stressed, I can't even tell you how stressed I've been. Paris knows. Everybody that's really, really close to me or knows my cell phone number knows, because I've probably called everybody and said, what the F am I going to do? You know, I don't know how to handle this. I've never been this stressed in my life. I was stressing because I was trying to study for the Series 6 exam, and I passed the Series 6, so that's really, really, really exciting. If you don't know what that is, then don't worry about it. But it's a really hard exam for me, and I passed it, so congrats to me, right? Off my shoulders, don't have to worry about it anymore. That's the reason why I'm able to make an update. I tried to do a skin video, which was actually a pretty badass video, but for some reason trying to link them together wasn't going to work right. I have not weighed in this last Saturday, but I did weigh in the weeks before that, and it was 161.4, so no worries there. I'm probably up from there because when I stress, I eat, and I don't drink water, apparently. Why can't I be like the 1% that doesn't eat? Okay? Why can't I not eat whenever I'm like stressed? Anyway, so I'm trying to drink more water. We'll see what happens. Apparently you're not supposed to drink water on video, but I do it. Living on the edge. So, what I want to talk about, what I want to get into, because I don't have any stats, I want to get into some life situations, okay? Some things that have happened. Let's get to the positives. Positive, I rode a horse. I rode a horse, and it was so exciting. We went on an hour trail ride. It was amazing, amazing. Now my ass hurt because there's nothing back there to hold back anymore, but it was so worth it. So worth it. I wore a bikini in front of my family this last weekend, and nobody said anything, and that was amazing. Now I did tell them, if you do say something, then you are ixnay on my life A. But that was the only thing that I did say, and it was amazing, and I felt great, and I was not self-conscious at all. It was just one of those things. I was like, this is me. This is how I am. This is who I'm gonna be now, right? In that aspect of my life. So what has happened after the Series 6, what happens in my field is when you get in my field, you have to continuously take securities license or license exams, period. You try to get credentials, try to get those little letters after your name. So that's what you should be doing. Now, one thing I figured out is that I don't know what the fuck I want to do with the rest of my life. Put it out there. And yes, I said the F-bomb. Sorry for you. Yeah, that's my problem. That's a problem I've been coming across. Not to sound cliche, but I kind of want to get in the nutrition field. I know that sounds horrible. Okay, this is the thing. At 326 pounds, I still wanted to be in the nutrition field. Could I have? Probably so. But would you let a dentist work on your teeth if he had really effed up teeth? Probably not. So I just didn't feel like it was a good idea for me. And now that I know the sky is the limit, literally there's nothing holding me back. And yes, weight doesn't only hold you back from doing things physically, but it hinders your mind. It really does. It makes you feel like you're not good enough to do anything in life. And I will say that that was a part of it, but there is another part. This is going to be getting a little juicy and a little 411 into my life, okay? So let me just put this out here because I'm going to go ahead and say it. My mom and dad divorced when I was young. They were not the best of parents. They did the best they could, and I completely give them all props for putting up with all of the kids' shit, you know? Like, we're a mess. We're loud, obnoxious, whatever. We're everything that my daughter is. So I completely applaud them for doing the best they could. With that said, my mom had left the relationship and left us with our dad, and my dad was raising 3 children by himself and did what he could do and what he knew from what he grew up in his situation. So he was physically abusive to us. The spankings got out of control. Really not called spankings, more like beat downs, got out of control. Now, back then, spankings was okay. You know, it's not as big as of a thing now, but beatings was not okay. You know, when you start leaving marks, that's not a good deal. So we got taken away from him. My dad did get help. My dad is a totally different man now. Excuse me. He's a wonderful guy. I love him. I love him. He's a great man. Now, going to my mom. My mom is mentally abusive. I never got bullied, ever. And I got bullied once in high school, and that was in my junior year. But I never really felt like I got bullied ever. And I was never the bully, even though I was probably the biggest. I got bullied by my mom's side of the family, I felt like they were always judging me. They were always saying shit to me, you know? And my mom always made me feel like I was never good enough. And made me feel like I'm not going to be any more than a woman behind the desk in a cubicle. And that's exactly what I am right now. And the worst part about it is my dad knew he had an issue and he got help. My mom is so oblivious to that. You know, now we're a lot closer. We have a lot more in common now because we both had the surgery. That's probably the only thing. But it's like, I have to now figure out what the hell I'm going to do with the rest of my life. Who I'm going to be. What am I going to do? And I know it sounds so morbid, but I would rather be physically abused than mentally abused, because that shit stays with you the rest of your effing life. And that's one thing that I am trying to get past, is encourage myself and know that I am so much more than that, that I am so worth everything and I deserve everything. I want to be more. I want to do more. And yeah, that's one thing that's been going through my head lately. It's I have a whole new life. It's definitely a new adventure. It's an adventure. It's an adventure. So I know that's probably a little bit more information than you probably want to know. That's one of the things that I feel like I have not been really that open with, and I feel like it's time to be open with it. I was physically abused by my dad, mentally abused by my mom. Not very close to my sister. We're getting a little bit closer now, because now, and I will tell you this, one thing that does change after weight loss surgery is you don't give a fuck anymore about other things it used to. Used to hurt your feelings a lot more and used to dwell on it. I don't really dwell on things as much as I used to, because I think I know better now. But yeah. So that is what's been going on in my life. One thing that I have, and I want to address it really quick, I know it's kind of long. I am catching up on videos finally, so I'm so sorry if I have not been responsive. I've been really busy. And it's not that you're not important to me. It's just, y'all, I'm just so stressed. So, anyhow, I watched SJ's video just a couple days ago. I know I'm so late. I'm sorry. And she had said that there was a death in the community. There was a young woman, and she decided to have surgery in Mexico, and she did not tell anybody in her family, and unfortunately she passed away due to complications. SJ was saying she felt really, really guilty for that, and I completely understand that. I would definitely feel guilty if I was in her shoes, but I want to say this. One thing that I will take back from that is that if anything, you brought her peace. If anything, you helped her. Now, if you are pre-op, I think it's really important that you go get all of your pre-op test done. You need to make sure that your heart is good. You need to make sure that your blood pressure is good. You need to make sure that you are okay to go through with a major surgery. There is always that small chance that you could pass or die from the surgery. I knew that going in. Everybody should know that. Okay, going into any major surgery, you could pass or die. But those things happen. You could die from having knee surgery. I know it sounds ridiculous. Blood clots happen. So I just want to let you know that I think it's just one of those situations that it happens and it's nobody's fault. It wasn't even her fault. It wasn't the doctor's fault. It just happens, you know? So I don't think anybody should feel guilty. I definitely know it would be hard. But that's one of my biggest things when people ask me what I think about this and that, and you know, like, and I always tell everybody that it's the best decision I've ever made in my life, and I still tell them. I knew there was a slight possibility that I was not going to wake up, and not see my family anymore. I knew that possibility was there, but I was willing to risk it. And I will tell you now that I would do it 110 times. I would do it thousands, millions of times over, even if that chance would raise a little bit, if I knew I was going to feel as good as I feel now. I never thought when I was 326 pounds, I never thought I would feel the way that I felt now. I never even knew this existed. I never knew it. And now I do, and it's amazing. It's amazing. I wouldn't change it for the world. So I feel really, really bad. I feel bad for her family. It's not a way to find out. But it's nobody's fault. It happens. And my heart is definitely out there for her and her family. So anyhow, didn't mean to make it sappy, but I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that that is a possibility. You're taking that chance. You're risking your life. Do your research. Oh my gosh. Do your research. Do all your pre-op tests. Make sure you are in pretty good health before you go in there and do what you need to do. But anyhow, sorry. I had a tangent real quick. Anyways, I will be back next week in order to give more of a stats update. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.